Hello everybody, my name is Victor from Florida, and I'm going to try to explain you how to do some VoIP. VoIP, as you already know, is voice over IP. So basically it's not a traditional analog system, but the new digital system that is going to be running on computers. It's going to be very beneficial for you in the network field, for the IT people, and it could be a big bonus on your background because you can provide some service with a minimum charge for your company in exchange of the previous way that your company was paying a lot of money for regular phone service. But first of all, we need to make clear that we are going to follow several patterns. Basically, I'm going to need three things for you. First, I'm going to need that you follow all the steps. Besides the steps, there are several sub-steps, and they could be very complicated. Even for me, that I am an IT guy, I understand that it could be kind of tricky. So try to follow everything, and the most important thing is try to understand everything, all the concepts. Based on that, the second step is going to be that you try to take notes of everything that I'm telling you and how to approach and take care of the problems. Check what you do, check all the steps, what is going to be working for me and what is not going to be working for me as well. So when you face several kind of problems, you eventually will be able to deal with that on your personal environment in the different interfaces and the proper way to do this kind of stuff. And third, more important to do this kind of stuff as well would be to do this on real equipment. Or maybe let me make myself a little bit more clear. Real equipment, because if you're trying to do a simulator or emulator like Packet Tracer or GNS3, you won't see the real stuff. You won't see the real way to do the things, because this is theoretically you can make it, but that is, you're gonna see a lot of process, a lot of results, and it's not gonna be working properly using one of those simulators or that kind of stuff. YouTube, you're gonna see a lot of people when they say that they're gonna explain how to do VoIP. This is false. I am doing this kind of video because there is a lot of misinformation how to do this, and a lot of places where they are not going to show you all the different steps. This is the real deal. Real Cisco equipment and real results. You won't find this anywhere else. Try to follow what I'm saying, try to take notes, and eventually everything's gonna be working for you, and you're gonna have that skills over your shoulder that is gonna be very useful for you in a close future, and eventually it's very beneficial for you, and you're gonna be happy about these results. So follow all the steps. I'll see you a little bit later in this video. Talk to you later, guys. If I make any questions, please like over here. So there we go. Let's jump in the water right away. Preparation before setup. We're gonna give you a couple tips of what we think that we're gonna prepare you a little bit, how we're gonna do this kind of stuff. And this is gonna be the small guide that initially wrote, but as time was passing by, I find out that this category have a lot of different subcategories as well. So I don't want you to focus on this, then this is how the process 1, 2, 3, because this process have a lot of different legs. So let's check it out, but don't follow this critically, because when you're working on this is not going to be necessarily done in this kind of order, and you need to troubleshoot back and forward. So things that you found, for example, at the first of the exercise, at the end of the exercise, you're going to need to get some answers at the beginning of the exercise. So I don't want to categorize this is the order that where everything is going to be done. We're going to do, as you see, preparation of before setup, VLANs, VLAN ports, configuration of trunks. Trunk is a relationship, the cable in between the routers and switches. The interface F00 and CME. Then it's gonna be our CME is gonna be our brain on our router. The DSCP then this is gonna be the dynamic host that is gonna be assigning the IP address of our devices, the TFTP, the files that we are gonna need for our iOS on our router, on our firmware, and the telephony service, the final configuration that we are gonna set up in our working environment in our phones. Our physical equipment. Over here, you're gonna see that how I have connected only on port 5, and I haven't connected anything yet. This is a catalyst switch at 3500. This is not a catalyst switch 3500 as well. One of them have 46 ports, and the other one have more gigabytes ports than regular internet ports. This cable that you see over here is a crossover cable that we usually do to connect that through the router, or we can use the crossover cable to connect the router to the laptop. After that, mostly we're going to be working with a straight through copper cable, as you see on your previous CCNA, and on the other cables that you probably have seen 1,000 times before. Packet traces as well. What kind of router? This is a very good question, because a lot of people say that this routing is good, the other router is not good. Believe me, try to get a good router. A bad router is going to give you a headache, and if not, in that case, that would be a very bad router, probably not even a start. If that would be very old, that would be this case scenario as well. So this routing on the top above is the one that you're going to try to get. In case that you are very broke, try to get this, but I certainly would encourage you not to jump on this one, because you're going to have a million of different stuff if you can to make this work and to make this happen. This is a very updated, the one above the line, the one that is marked as number 2. Over here, you're going to see some of my configuration. You're going to see my red cable, the crossover cable. This is going directly to my laptop. The blue cable, straight through cable, that is going to from F00 to over here F01 of the switch. Over here, you're going to see the port 5 and 6. That is going directly to the phone. And this other gray cable over here is going directly to my laptop if I want to connect that as well. The blue cable that you see over here, this is going to be my console cable. Make sure that you are connecting everything in the same order. Topology, the same thing that I'm talking about. 7940, 7960 phones, that's what I have. My switch, and I switched 3550 as you saw. One console cable from my laptop to the router, and one crossover cable over here, and this other 3 is gonna be my straight through copper cable. This is gonna be the same stuff. I forgot to tell you to try to configure the laptop with a IP address 10.1.1.10 and no gateway. Let me repeat this one more time. No gateway configure. So it want to start looking for a gateway, so it's going to only follow the direction through the cables that you already assigned. Make sure that happens, otherwise you're going to have a big headache when your laptop is trying to pin the other devices. You need to understand this process. Over here, the DHCP server is the one that's going to assign the IP address. The TFTP server is going to assign the firmware of the phones and the iOS firmware as well. And this is the CME router, the one that's going to coordinate, and the brain that coordinates all the function over here. These two, we're going to put it over here. And we're going to be working basically with a TFTP, with a switch and a router. And a router is going to take these two functions over here. So basically what is going to happen is the Cisco switch will detect the PoE capabilities. This capability, power over internet. That means that the electricity is coming over from this device, another regular electricity cable, and it's connected to the power source, both directly over here. This kind of device and they have PoE capabilities called AO2.3AF. So that's the first step. In case that you want it like that, in case that you don't want it, then you would be with a regular power cable. That's up to you. It's a little bit cheaper though. Switch and voice VLAN via CDP. It's sending over here. IP phone received the DHCP request including option 150. To look for the option 150 is to look for the router. iPhone's contact TFTP server configure receive configuration file. So this after it got into this process number 4, it should be picking up all the signal. This is where all the places where you can have bank, law firm, hospital, corporate, call center, whatever, they all work with IP phones. This is the stuff that we were mentioning before. This is the 2 routers. We're going to consolidate these 2 routers in one with a DHCP server and a TFTP server in the CME. And instead of having 2 switches, we're going to have only one. Preparation before setting up. This is what we've been talking about. This is the configuration F05 and 06. From our router is going to be connected to the port 00. And this is our laptop where we are connected right now. And laptop is connected to the switch port through port 08. As you could see over here. Laptop have manual IP address configured as 10.1.1.10. This one over here. LAN card on the laptop have no gateway configured. We need to configure that over there on our computer. Try to check how to configure the IP address of a computer. Usually you try to go to view connections or view local connections on your network section on your computer, and you're gonna do that on the IPv4 address. And you're gonna manually configure. In case that you need to get some information how to do that, you better Google it or go to YouTube. LAN card on the laptop have no gateway configured. That's what I mentioned before. The router is connected to the switch port F01. As you saw over there in the photo, the router is connected to the F00. And the IP phone is connected to 05 and 06 on the switch. I already showed you the designs. Here's what I'm talking about. After you have everything configured, you go to the CND. You go to the Windows section on your computer. You put over there type CND over there. You're going to IP config, and you're gonna see that what you configure on your network section is popping up over here. 10.1.1.10, and you don't have any default gateway as you could see over here. You're gonna restore your router and switch to the default as it came from factory. If you leave anything behind over there, you didn't want to delete everything properly, you're gonna have a headache because it's not gonna be working, guys. So make sure, and let me repeat this one more time, make sure when that happens, and you're gonna copy everything from scratch. You're gonna check on my blog as well, and I hope that you check the proper address so it's gonna be easier for you. Here's what happens when you delete everything from the flash memory. This is how it looks like when you're deleting the configuration from the switch. And after this, you're gonna see over here, everything is done and sweet and perfect. This is the configuration from my switch, and it's a Catalyst 3550. Different switches have different configuration on Cisco. This is how it looks like. This is how it looks like after you apply all the configuration and everything. You took everything to the default. Double check that you don't have 1,000 different VLANs. In fact, I don't have only the one VLAN one, and it's the default one. Default to router. Well, before that everything, I'm gonna use only one VLAN because I don't want to create a lot of different headache. I want to start working only with one. After that, after you have configured everything, you can tweak and change everything but I want to start working with you only with one VLAN, so it's gonna be your first guy. Over here, we're gonna jump into the router. In the router, you're gonna see how the configuration is, how is everything is. We are going back to the default, and we're gonna start checking our configuration to take it back to the default setup on this router, the 2800, as you can see. Over here, we are gonna check how is our flash memory and our version. As you can see on the two red arrows, the reason that we are gonna do that is because we need to set up what is the proper iOS that we are gonna need for our router, and we are gonna need as well a firmware of our phones that we are gonna need in a close future. When you get this over here, especially show flash, and you're gonna see the iOS, you're gonna see the iOS memory that you're gonna need and you're gonna use, and that you're gonna be looking for. Make sure that happens, guys. After you got that, you're gonna put that on C drive on your TFTP server. This is not the first time you're gonna see this video, so I want you to take note of this, and after that we're gonna see how we are gonna apply all this information. Over here, you're gonna see how to configure the terminal. The terminal on the switch with interface F01, A05, A06, and 08. A01 for trunking to connect to the router, 05 and 06 to connect to the phones, 08 to connect directly to the laptop. From there, we are gonna ping in the future. Let me repeat this one more time. We're gonna ping to see if we have a connection in the future. From here, we're gonna follow different directions. I don't want to repeat switchboard host, configure VLAN, switchboard access VLAN, configure VLAN data, configure VLAN voice, because not shut down to finish everything, and end to get out of the configuration mode. You need to start doing that on your own, guys. Please make sure that you take note. Over here, you're gonna see how we apply those changes in real life. Nice, isn't it? And now we are configuring the router. On the router, we're gonna start from the first stuff, setting the clock. Remember that setting the clock is before conf t. Remember, enable a clock setting and conf t. So you're gonna start working with this. After that, you're gonna put all the information on the interface F00, the blue cable that goes to the switch, the IP address that we are gonna assign over there. No shut down to make sure that it takes that information. We're gonna put the DHCP pool over here, and over here as well. We are putting our network, setting our network. Option 115 is to pointing out to this IP address, 10.1.1.10, exit, and we are repeating this stuff over here again. So we're gonna take care of that situation of you guys. I'm sorry. Meanwhile, let me continue with the whole process. In case that you have any doubt, please go directly to the blog. Configuration of the router, you're gonna see telephonic service, max e-phones. It's gonna be max e-phone of four phones in total. DNS, we're gonna have usually more DNS because some phones have an extension number, a 100 number, and a regular 10 digits phone number. So it can have some variation, guys. In case that you only want one, it's up to you. It can tell you the IP address that you're gonna have, the system message that is coming on your phone. It says system message CCNA voice. It's gonna be popping on your phone. Exit, and I did a description on each one of the phone. From the phone number 1, the name of the user is Jacob, the number of the extension is 1001. Exit, and we're gonna do the same about the same stuff over here as well. Over here, we're gonna get from each one of the phone. We're gonna type the type of phone. The model of my phone is 7940. This is on ePhone 1, and we're gonna put over here the MAC address of each one of the phones. And this is gonna be I didn't want to add all the information over there, but you're gonna see that in a close future. Over here, you're gonna see the same stuff, the description of the phones, the name of the phones, and the numbers on the phone, 1001, 1002. We're pinning the 10, the 1, and 251. As you can see, it could reach it. That's excellent. TFTP requirements. Guys, TFTP, when I start doing this process, I found out that TFTP needs a lot of different information on its own because it can crash the whole system that you have. You need to be a master of FTP. So I'm going to be giving in the future, making another video how to make the TFTP. And over here, the different components are going to be SolarWinds. Try to download the SolarWinds TFTP, the router configuration on the SensorNet map, the Windows firewall off, specify the command of your specific Cisco router. Take notes. Go to YouTube. I'm going to make that in a close future as well. Windows feature setup. Go to write down over there on the Windows. Over there in your computer, you write down Windows feature, and when I load it, and over there you're gonna put some information that you're gonna find a little bit later. Windows firewall, make sure that it's off. Try to learn how to do that, and put in a static IP address on your network adapter. You can go to network, and from network you can see local connections, and for local connections you're gonna check set up a static IP address, and we are gonna see a little bit later. Why do we need an TFTP server? To run the Cisco router iOS so it can load, and to run the phone firmware. Each model has different versions, so depending on the model that you have, you need to make the proper adjustment. This is how the window features looks like. And over here, you're gonna see that you're gonna need to have the Telnet client, Telnet server, and TFTP client on. It's the one over here. Click it. Over here, you're gonna find the different. You're gonna download two different kind of TFTP, TFTP 32 and SolarWinds TFTP. Google this. Make sure that in TFTP 32 you have 69 address. Make sure that you have send and receive files. Make sure that your IP address are over here, guys. That you add it, otherwise it's not gonna be working for you. Make sure that this stuff when you go to general is gonna be on. Remember, guys, make sure that this happens. And try to find out one way that it's happening because it's kind of picky to do this kind of project. Make sure that this happens. This is how you have your files after you have the TFTP on the C drive, or you can name it TFTP root, or you can name it a plain TFTP. Here's how I have it. What I did, I get the one, for example, initially the one with the bigger number over here, this one 11. So try to make it in the same way. This is how I put it over there, my local C drive and TFTP root, and I put this drive over here. This is what I see when I put show IP internal brief, and everything is loading up, and everything is flash, and I can see the flash how everything loads up into my computer. Guys, this is the TFTP. Make sure that this is pointing out, this number over here is pointing out to your directory, to the IP address that you're working with, and make sure that you are directly browsing to exactly the same spot that you really need to. The same stuff we showed there on the same stuff in browse. Over here we are troubleshooting. Troubleshooting because we see over here the firmware, not from my iOS, but this one, for example, 37.200.0.2000. This one are my firmware from my phones. Over here in this website, there are several you can get it directly from Cisco website, or you can get it on those websites from the internet. Some people provide those files for you, and you can download those files in case that you need to. There are a lot of different stuff that you're gonna need. Make sure that SolarWinds is on. Make sure that, for example, over here that you have your IP address, several IP addresses over here properly connected, or the IP address that you're using in your connection. make sure that you can ping, make sure that your firewall is off, make sure that you put over here the right version, show version, make sure that you see your interface, make sure again that you see the IP address that you're working, make sure that you get the proper website, and you need to do your search in case that you don't have access to Cisco to download those files. Make sure that you can ping, and make sure that you can download, for example, to your website over here the files that you're gonna need for in your project. In this case, this is my firmware that I was trying to get for my IP phones. Over here, you're looking at my iOS. You can see that it's a little bit different. And over here, you can see that we could copy we were trying to copy the DHCP flash. You can see my computers over here, my setups, my console cable, crossover cables, stereo cable. Then I'm going through my from my router to my switch, and from my router to my laptop. Over here, you're gonna see a little bit of my configuration. Show IP DHCP bin. Over here, you're gonna see that it's looking at the IP of my phone, but in my phone's earphones number 1 and earphone number 2 is not reading the IP address, but it does on my DHCP pool. So my computer, my router is reading, but obviously my firmware is not. So we have a problem over here of firmware or connectivity. I wanted to show you that very specific, so you're gonna see the errors that you're gonna find and how to troubleshoot them. So over here you see on the first one that we couldn't ping it from the connection that we have over there. So what we were trying to do, we were trying to ping that from the router initially, and over here I post the result. But when we tried to do that from the switch, everything was working from us. I mean, from the router we use the crossover cable port F01, and from the switch we are using port 08, a straight through cable. Over here you're gonna see the same stuff. We don't have a local connection, so we had to troubleshoot. That's what I mean. We moved the different cables, and after moving different cables, everything was working fine. Make sure that you disable your wireless connection, otherwise it's gonna have priority on your wireless instead of the routes and the IP address on your switch and your router that it needs to look for. You disable that. Try to find out how to do that. Usually with the right click, and after that you're gonna try to adjust the local area connection and the wireless connection as well. Over here you're gonna see you need to check what is the IP address that you're gonna need for your firmware. You're gonna see this on Cisco website and the version that you're gonna do. Here is the version 12.4. That was my personal case scenario. This is how I uploaded, and this is how I saw that it was completed. In my personal case scenario, I did that with TFTP 32 and with SolarWinds TFTP, the both of them together. I know that some people have more expertise than me that can do that everything from the CND. I don't know how to do that. That is a big headache, and I really try to do that my life a little bit easier. So I put both of them to work, and they look like vanilla and chocolate. They're very sweet to each other, and they work very good with each one of the configurations. So that's what I do. In case that you want to do that in another way, it's up to you guys. This is how next you're gonna reboot your phones. Now that you're gonna press first you're gonna disconnect the power cable from the back. You're gonna start pressing for about 5 or 10 seconds the hash button over here. Don't release your finger, and after that you're gonna start typing. It's gonna give you a message and it's ready for the setup. You're gonna type 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 star 0 hash. Then it's gonna ask for something. If you're gonna set the configuration, say don't save, you're gonna press number 2. Guys, remember what I say. You're gonna disconnect and you're gonna connect, and immediately you're gonna press your hash button for about 10 seconds, and after that 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 *0 hash, and after that it's gonna get another message. It's gonna press number 2, and that's it. Then you're gonna get this message. This is the hurry phone. As you're gonna see, is the number 1002. Seasonal voice. The next message that we configured, time and date, and it was previously that we tried to configure. So everything looks sweet and dandy. Guys, this is done. This is the exercise done. I hope that you enjoy it. In case that you need any information, please check over here on my blog on the yellow phones, and on my website. This one is over here. Try to check it out. In case, I hope that it will be informative for you. I hope that you can enjoy it. I hope that it wouldn't be too boring. And guys, thank you very much for watching. In case that you need any questions, please don't hesitate to send me any feedback, and I'll be more than glad to help you out. Guys, have an excellent day.